Oh. What is this thing here?
So I think that's a really good idea. Maybe if you have one that's empty and one that's excluded. Yeah. The whole ensemble came together. What about the hair? What'd you beach wave?
I did my beach wave thing and then
What's a beach wave?
God.
I just everything was like this. And I twisted like this. And then I go like this around.
Electrical.
Oh, yeah.
No, the dimmer light.
It went back to normal. It was so nice. Let her just do that.
No shot.
She's like, my hair's first, so I'm not going to demonstrate on my hair.
Well, no, I just don't want to do it again.
It'll mess up the. I would take No, I think she did it for you. Yes, you did it really well. You're just like, okay, whatever. Just will, but no worries. Like, just will.
That's not what you were expecting.
Yes,
God. I'm doing okay. No.
My roll went down like flies.
No.
Every one of them except me.
Gosh.
And the guy sitting across the room, he's just like,
But
he's like, let's just rock.
Could you? Logic is. I just want to get it. It doesn't seem to be recording again. It jumped over to the iPhone for
Yeah.
some reason.
What did you hit there last time?
I brought up the level and I haven't changed that.
It's here.
It recognizes the Steinberg and everything.
I'm going to do what I did last time and just do it again.
Yeah. See, there's the picture that's going to, well, it's actually going live right now.
Is it? Say goodbye and I'll try to walk away and I'll stumble. Though I try to hide it, it's clear. My world crumbles when you are not here. Yep, there it goes.
Yeah, I don't know what it did. So let's just roll it. Don't you think? We're getting close to going on.
Yeah.
community or something. Okay. And have a beautiful auditorium that's
Walking is helpful.
But I would like kids
Standing, I think about it.
Yeah. The politicians like at the end.
No lunch. And then
No,
yeah.
So that was interesting, and she's 65, so we have to be like,
Fine, guys.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
David Tammy, right? Yeah. So when I went in, then he was
Weird occasionally, because like that back and forth, it's gonna like looks down, so like in the summertime.
Welcome, everybody. Does that work?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to our house. Thank you for coming to our house concert. We're so excited to have Jana Crenshaw and Toni Hill here performing for us today. They're special. Yes. A couple of housekeeping things. Audrey and Jana have a new business. Hello, Tracy. Soul of the Home candles here at the front door. So please be sure to check those out. They're gorgeous, beautiful. There's all kinds of food in the kitchen. There's all kinds of beverages, coffee, tea, wine. Just help yourself. I've labeled a lot of things so you can find them. If you need a restroom, it's straight back into the left. Jana and Toni will probably sing and play for 90 minutes or so. And if you need to take a break or get more food or wander around or get comfortable, please do so. They are live streaming this for people who are watching from home and recording it for Jana's podcast, which is called
The Song You Heard.
The Song You Heard. So thank you all for being here. Are there any questions before we get started?
Is this a monthly thing now?
Yeah, we're gonna do this every month now. This is our first one, so we'll see how it goes, you guys. Thanks for being a part of our, it's not the first one for Toni and Jana, but it's first for us. And if we like it, then we'll see where this goes. Yeah.
We'll play every month if you want.
There are jars on the dining room table and in the kitchen. So if you want to drop your ticket money in there, or if you want to Venmo me, my Venmo is on the jar as well. And then we will be funneling all that money to Jana and Toni. So all the proceeds go to our artists tonight. And if you feel so moved after you see their amazing experience, their amazing performance, you might want to even drop a tip. Okay, and we're gonna be having some still pictures taken too, so if there's anybody who's like, I do not want my picture taken, you know, like you can just gesture that you don't want your picture taken. But this also helps promote the artist's work as well. So, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Hello. Oh, that's not the right sound. Hold on. Welcome. My name is Jana Crenshaw, and this is the podcast, live taping of the podcast, which is called The Song You Heard. The reason it's called The Song You Heard is because of this little line I wrote long ago, but it goes like this. If I had known the way, if I had known the way back, if I had known the way back home, I would be there with you, I would be there with you. If I become the bird, if I become the sky, if I become the song you heard, I will never die, I will never die. So welcome to The Song You Heard. The Song You Heard is a podcast about music and activism and stories behind the songs and whatever else we talk about along the way. So the structure of this is for me to kind of play a song or two, introduce the guest. We usually do a song together, and then we do an interview. The guest does another couple songs, and then I finish us out with music. So I'm just gonna go. You guys are welcome to just, if you need a bio break, if you need more snacks, if you need whatever, feel free to just kind of move around. We won't take a break unless we really are feeling like we need to. But, and also if you have any questions as we kind of go, we sort of keep it casual when we're in this format. So you can just raise your hand and I'll call on you kind of when I can. And you're welcome to kind of just participate in that way. So I'm gonna play a song first to open us up. I chose the song because of what we're kind of intending to talk about a little bit, but also because I realized recently that the song is called Little Sister, and I was kind of thinking about a friend or two of mine when I wrote it many years ago, but I was thinking about kind of like some cousins and some other people who are younger than me, but I really wrote it for myself, and I didn't really know it was about me until maybe like, I don't know, 20 years later. So I kind of, after coming to that insight, I thought, oh, I should play that song because here it is, right? Little sister, dark as night in the eyes. When you're crying, baby, don't you realize you're not nothing though you feel it on the inside. Little sister, dark as night in the eyes. It's getting cold outside. You better find someone with a fire who will take you in. When you shout, wave your hands, throw the people over your rocks and all turn to sand. Little sister, dark as night in the eyes. Little sister, glowing light in the hands. When you touch them, do you think they understand? Though the people who were your rocks have all turned to sand. Little sister, glowing light in the hands. It's getting cold outside. You better find someone with a fire who will take you in. And when you shout, wave your hands, throw the people sister going light in the hands. You live and you learn and you regret, but that hasn't happened yet. Forgive me, I am wise beyond your years. But I see you hurt, I see you search yourself, oh, it's plain as day, and I see you give it away. Little sister, dark as night in the eyes. When you're crying, baby, don't you realize you're not nothing, though you feel it on the inside. Little sister, dark as night in the eyes. So, I am incredibly happy to be interviewing one of my very best pals today. Toni and I have been living parallel lives for many years. And I just think it's going to be so fun to talk. So we're going to let you in on a little bit of our world and probably talk about some hard stuff. But I think it's important hard stuff. So I want to just kind of do it. And I'm so glad that you're willing and that you guys are all willing to kind of listen to us break it down. So I don't know if you know this or not, but being a single mom who's an artist and responsible for most of the parenting sucks. And so these are the things that we've all both been doing for a long time. And I don't know, I thought, what do we want to talk about? And then I was like, let's talk about what we talk about. Like, that's what we talk about a lot because it's what comes up for us all the time. So we'll address that in a couple other ways and we'll learn about who she is. But let's start with a song. Yeah?
Yes.
Welcome, Toni Hill.
Toni Hill.
That's fine. Let me start again. That was a little slow, yeah? I think so.
Let's see. It's
Is that better? Oh, I have my glasses. That's why I can't see. I was like, that's a little slow. That's fine.
That makes a difference.
Third time's a charm.
Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. Well, hush, little baby, don't you cry. Yes. They say the block is hot, the streets are rough, the cops shot up everything. Now who's in a rage for what they did to Kendra James? Such a disgrace, such a beautiful face. Now who's gonna pay for the war on our youth today? to be young, black, beautiful, struggling through a world of budget cuts, police brutality, racist mentality, poverty and drugs, and God knows what else. They've been raped and maimed, domesticated and shamed, socialized and tamed and trained to be docile, ignorant, and contained to the parameters of the kitchen. To raise children by ourselves, our voices silenced or withheld, or written from a misogynist perspective, unequal directive. Now peep the objective here. We're trying to raise the consciousness of our mothers. We're trying to raise the consciousness of our sisters, our brothers, our aunties, our uncles, our friends, those that will be with us until the end, even through the summer. Summertime, when the living is easy. Fish are jumping, jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich, and your mama's good looking. Well, hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you spread your wings and take to the sky. But until that morning, there's nothing can harm you. With your mammy and your pappy standing by. With your mammy and your pappy standing by. Oh.
Can we interview you?
Sure.
Why don't we, let's exit the music stand, and that chair is for you. I'm gonna pull my chair over to you so we can hang out like that.
Quiet little music stand.
These are the parts that get edited out.
I'm supposed to sit right here?
Yes. Is that good?
And then
Everybody
bring
still
this down?
wanna see us?
Yeah.
Whatever you like, however you like it.
Yay.
Oh, perfect. Yay, I like having friends that know how to do stuff. Right?
I know.
So awesome.
It's the best.
That's great. Thank you. You're right.
So welcome. This is Toni Hill.
Yay.
Can you start by just kind of locating yourself? Who are you? What do you do? Who are you? Where you come from? And all the things.
Okay. Hi, I'm Toni Hill. I am a singer, songwriter, and an artist educator. What that means is I may go into schools or into other spaces and teach maybe a writing workshop or poetry or performance. Also, I may come in and train other teachers how to incorporate elements of hip hop or spoken word poetry into their curriculum, and also help develop curriculum around getting perhaps disadvantaged youth or disenfranchised youth, maybe young girls that haven't had an opportunity to speak or don't know themselves or their voices yet, and so come in and try to help do some curriculum surrounding that to encourage them to be able to write and share their perspective because it's important.
Thank you. My first question is, how did we arrive at the Toni Hill we all know and love?
Oh.
What big events and influences shaped you?
Big events and influences. I think one of the primary things that a lot of people don't know about me is I started out in theater and dance first. I was trained in Hawaiian hula, in ballet, and modern, a little bit of African dance, but not that much. I did those things first, and also in conjunction with theater. I was supposed to go to NYU to Tisch, and at 19, I thought I was grown, honey. And I went and got married to a boy that was going to the military. And I think we got married because he was scared to death, and so was I. And so I didn't have to go to New York, and he could bring me along on his adventures. And so I did that instead. So it almost didn't become me because I was off doing something else. But also, writing, like in high school, I had a lot of teachers. There's one in particular, her name is Linda Christensen, and she had a program, Advanced Literature and Society, and she encouraged me to submit a lot of my writings. And so in 1993, yes, I'm dating myself,
Okay.
I won the Zora Neale Hurston Literary Award for this whole state of Oregon. And so things like that. Like, so there were all these opportunities that I had from being young that kind of shaped and molded me. Also, they had a really good program, a middle school program at Ockley Green, and Milton Adams was the theater coach there, and he encouraged me to go into theater. So by the time I went to Jefferson High School, which in the 90s was like the best school that you could go to for performing arts.
Sure.
So as an 8th grader, they had an advanced placement program where I went to high school half days. Also, when I was young, did tag and all of those type of things. So I think that someone spotted my potential early, and so I was fortunate to have some support and have people see me for who I was and what potential I had to become.
I see that as a big part of your story, the part that I know that we've talked about, is that you kind of had a couple of people step in from time to time. And it's so important. And it's like you hear story after story about one teacher helped me with this, or one person stepped in, one person helped me with this, and whatever. But I think it's so important to just sit with that for a second, because I think it really is true. Like, it only takes one somebody to pull you out of what you need. And I'm so glad, like, your talent is so obvious. And so my dad is was a journalist, and he's been helping me because a lot of the people I've been interviewing are people that I already know. And so I always think, well, I know what I want to talk about that I think we should kind of present as a topic, but I don't know what other people would want to know, right? So I put my dad on that assignment. And when I called him for questions, this is what I was dying to tell you that I didn't tell you before. When I called him for questions, we talked yesterday, and he said, man, I've been watching Toni's stuff, and I watched the coffee shop video, and she's such a natural, and this, that, and the other. Her voice is so great, and it's like kind of sensual, but it's powerful, and all this stuff. And I said, cool, so what questions? And he goes, I don't have any questions. I just like it. Thank you, Dad. And I was like, that's great. But it's like, I think that's that same thing. Like, I think it's so obvious to me that you've been able to just retain your Toniness for your whole life, and that's so hard to do. And so I'm so glad that you're so strong in that, and that you're such an example of that, but also that it was recognizable enough to enough people that you didn't get swept under the rug,
Yes, I'm very fortunate, but also, like, I paid some dues. Like, I was stage fright. Like, I was really comfortable with dance and theater because I was trained to do that, right? Singing? No.
Yeah.
Singing came the summer of probably like 1990.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in high school, and there was musical theater after school for like a summer program. And so as a requirement, you had to do a solo. Now I
And
grew up singing.
that was your first?
Yes, I sang at church with everybody else,
Yeah, right.
but I didn't want to stick out. And me and my younger brother, Frank, we would come home and we would sing every single part, like, but it didn't sound good. Like to my parents, they didn't know what we were just playing around. We were like, God's not it, God's not it. Like we're recording all this stuff, and they're like, dude, that doesn't. Come on now, stop doing that. And we were like sweeping and cleaning up and doing all this stuff. And so they didn't know I could actually sing. They had no clue until that summer. And even then, they didn't know. They didn't find out until I auditioned for The Wiz that I could sing. They had no clue. So what happened was went to the musical theater for the summer and I learned Be a Lion. And so that had to be my piece that I had to learn and do as a solo. And I was like, I'm not singing in front of people. That's crazy. Like, no, thank you. And so fortunately, Milton Adams was my basketball coach and he worked with me when I was in middle school, but he also was the high school basketball coach and one of the theater teachers. So like we've had that extended, experience and relationship that whole time. So he was like, don't think of it as Antonia. Think of it as like Toni Hill. Like make it be a character. So you're not really singing. And I was like, I could do that? Like, so I was like, okay, wait. Okay, so Antonia's not up here singing. And I'm like shaking, nervous, really, really. Because I can sing with everybody else because you can kind of blend in. Also, I got put on blast. So anybody seen that movie Sister Act? Or Sister Act 2? So I was that kid. I was like, singing in the background, and then someone was like, "Hey, wait a minute!" Stopped the whole everybody and was like, "Wait a minute, come here!" And I was like, "Are you sick? No, I'm gonna die today. Today I die in front of everybody." And he was like, "Sing that again." And so I sang it. He was like, "That's what you guys are supposed to sound like." Oh God, thank you. Yeah, today. So I was like, all right, cool, okay. Little bit of a confidence boost. And also there were some guys here. I think Portland in a special way because when I moved here in the second grade from Seattle, because Seattle to me is a little bit more known as a hub for certain things in New York and some of the other places. But when I got to Portland, it had a rich culture here. And people really do rally behind you and they really do want to support you. So there were people here that supported me early on and just like I said, showed me that it's okay. And so when I auditioned for The Wiz, I did the Be a Lion song. Now I didn't get a lead part, I got a supporting role and I got to be a pit singer as well. So I sang all of the backgrounds for everybody else in the chorus and I did the part of Ada Pearl, the Good Witch. So that was like that started me out. Then I wasn't scared anymore of singing. But even today, even now, it's like, okay, Toni Hill, like get yourself ready thing. It's not like me as a mom or Antonia up here singing.
Well, and that's a thing that I really love to talk about with artists because I heard an interview with somebody, I can't even remember who it was, but they were talking about what Bob Dylan said. And what he said was, well, you might not do that, but would Toni Hill do that? Right? Like to the other artists, and they were like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, I'm whatever he calls himself, Bob Dylan, I don't really know. He's like, I do this, but Bob Dylan wouldn't do that. like he has this clear separation of like his performance personality and his person personality. And I think that's so interesting. I've never really separated mine. And I mean, partially maybe because I don't have so many nice nicknames like you have. Like your name has like 8 different amazing built-in nicknames, but my name is Jana Crenshaw. Not too many options. So I think that's cool that he was able to do that for you and give you your stage name by proxy, but also that you were able to show up differently because of that. I love that.
Absolutely. I think I probably would have ran somewhere and threw up. I mean, I really was afraid and it was out of my comfort zone. If he said do a solo or do a dance or something, I would have been fine.
Yeah.
Or even get up and speak in front of everybody, I'd have been fine. Right. Just whatever. But no, singing, I was like, nope, I'm gonna mess up or
Yeah.
something's gonna I don't know. I just had
Well, and
anxiety.
I really like knowing that because you don't stress about singing at all.
not anymore.
And I tend to over prepare. So this is always a good lesson for me as well, time and time again. Anyway, thank you for that history. Next question, moving on to what I was talking about. Can you tell me a story that illustrates what being a female artist in the throes of motherhood looks and feels like?
Oh boy, that's like a book, honey.
I know. Well, like one example. So like,
One example
yeah,
today.
yeah.
Yes.
Tell us all the things you did
In this
today.
moment.
Yeah.
I have two wonderful little humans that I helped co-create, and they are musicians, and so they had a show.
Cartoons.
Yeah, they have a lot of energy, and they're very animated. So they were invited to do a kids junk orchestra at the Children's Theater downtown yesterday and today. They had 4 shows, 2 yesterday, 2 today. Of course, mom has to do that, but I also have to do my own show and do my own rehearsals and take them to their rehearsals. And then they want to go to the Blazer game, and I have to take them to the Blazer game. And sometimes all of these things are overlapping. And so like today, when I get done with this, I get to go to the Blazer game after doing 2 shows at the Children's Theater. Coming here, I changed in the car. Like, you really have to, like, I had different shoes. I had everything different, but I had the black pants and I wore all black underneath, so then I could just like do in theater and just costumes change. I changed my shoes, I changed my hair, I changed my necklace. I was like, cool. Now I can be Toni Hill. Right? Before I was like, Mom and
Antonia would not do that.
No, Antonia was at the Children's Theater doing that and chasing gremlins around and, being a stage mom and helping carry equipment and stuff. That's what she was doing today.
I had a funny moment that I relived when I reread my journal. I have this favorite author, whose name I'm totally blanking on. Anyway, I'll get to that after I can list her in the credits. But she wrote this beautiful book that was really avant-garde, but it was about this abusive relationship she had been in. And she started doing this thing within the writing where she would describe feelings like with weird kind of experiences that you could really relate to in a different way. Like she would say, like, this moment felt like sucking on a lemon through a straw or something. Like she would say something like that that was like super visceral. And I had written in my journal after, I think I was reading that book. So it was kind of like, I don't know if you're as chameleon-like as I am, where you read something and then you start writing in the same kind of like lilt, right? And so that happens to me a lot. I pick up things like that a lot. So I had written in my journal, my life right now feels like watching the movie The Incredible Shrinking Woman with someone who thinks the movie is about an incredible shrinking woman. And I feel like that's like all of it. So I don't know, for a lot of you who are maybe younger, that movie is an old Lily Tomlin movie, and I saw the trailer for it today because I was just thinking about it. And at the end of the trailer, it says, "The poor woman who gave so much and was so little." I was like, yeah, let's lean into that for a second. But that's like what it feels like, right?
Yeah, it can. I think primarily when you don't have the proper support, it can really feel like that.
Yeah.
Now, if you are coupled or you have family or you have your maid family and they're willing to come in and kind of help or babysit or any of that stuff, then it feels a little less challenging. Mm-hmm. But when you're the one woman show, it really can be difficult because you're not really allowed to have any other, like, you can't have a meltdown. Because you still have to cook, you still have to clean, you still have to go and make sure that the car has gas. You have to I had to do all of these things just to make it here on time. Yeah. And being on time is important to me because my dad used to say, there's no such thing as early. There's only on time and late.
Right.
So I had to make it on time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and it's hard.
And to me, it's just that added pressure of like, when do you do art? If you're doing all the things and you're responsible for all the things and you're tracking all the things, then it's like I've done soundtracks for like 30 theater shows. I honestly don't know how I've done that, but I remember doing most of it 3 hours at a time after my kid went to bed, right? So like I think that's the part that I carry, is just that it's like you always have this kind of what's a good descriptor for it? There's always this little angsty thing, like I am not doing something I ought to be doing, right? And it's the stuff that I have listed in my journals and like all the stuff, but you maybe get 10 minutes of it, and that's really most of it, right? So I'm really glad to be in a different place now because my kid is older and things are just a little bit different in my life, that I actually have more time now. But it's interesting to me, like that's why I wanted to talk about this too, is because we're getting older. And so we've skipped this massive time where we could have been doing a whole lot of shit, and we were doing a little bit of stuff instead, or whatever we could do.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're kind of like, we're having more meetings and trying to kind of ramp things up because we know we're coming to that end at some point. We'll be kid free, or we can incorporate them, or they'll be old enough to stay by themselves, or whatever the case may be, right? So it's just so interesting to have sort of waited. This weird kind of prime time is gone, but there's like another act. And I'm so excited because we kind of been through some of the trenches.
Yeah.
And that is like a little, it's like lessening now in an interesting way. And so I feel really excited because we've been in that place with babies hanging out, and now there's like big kids and things are getting cool again. So it's sort of like, I feel like it sort of makes me show up like, ooh, I really gotta sort of keep myself energetic and like engaged and like feeling younger so that I can do all the stuff that I really wish I had done 20 years ago. But who cares? Like that's how I feel about it now. Tell me where you're at in that trajectory. Like, what's your feeling about that?
I feel fortunate at this particular juncture in this time in my life because there's so many different things happening simultaneously. I moved across the country only to break up and move back across the country, but not to where I started from, because I was in Vegas since 2013. Raised my boys there. I moved to North Carolina. That was a wash. I moved to Portland and was like, what am I doing here again? So as soon as I hit the ground, I was like, I have to be doing something. If I'm not doing something, well, first of all, I had the gremlins in the background going, is it gonna rain every day? I don't want to be here. They have a swimming pool. They don't have casinos. How come they don't have casinos? I had all this stuff, and I was like, yo, hold on. Like, you guys come here in the summer, you see your grandma. And they were like, yeah, but it's sunny and it's stuff to do. This place sucks and all, because he's 13 now. So then you're getting that. And then the little guy is like, he was only raised in the desert. So he's looking around like, what is, why, why did you, yes, what have you done to me? Why are y'all forsaking me? I'm like, dude, relax, Portland's cool. I'm going to show you somehow. Yeah, I think. Kind of, and then, so I think, I feel a little bit of a push to make sure I'm doing something, but not in the same urgency, like I have to get 10 records done or any of that. Like, I feel like because I had my kids late, I toured the country, I partied, I did all kinds of stuff. So I feel like a lot of that stuff got out of there. I lived in Puerto Rico, I was doing all kinds of stuff, right? Yeah. So then at 36, first having a baby for the first time, and then my next one at like 41 or something, it was like, oh, I already did most of that stuff. So like being in the bar and being in the club, I don't care about none of that. Mm-hmm. I want to like learn the stuff I should have been learning. And I think COVID time was the time that I realized like, oh, I could learn how to engineer at home and record myself. Because when the studios shut down, I lost a really big contract.
Yeah.
I had got a contract with Marmoset, which is a licensing company, because going back to, I'm a writer. So if anything else, you don't have to ever hear me sing a note, but I can just write it for somebody else, which is, I'm fortunate to have that skill set. Not everybody can do that, right? So I was like, I have to learn how to do certain things so that regardless, I'm okay. And that's the part that I'm really, really trying to work on. But I love singing. Like, that's good. I will sing in the shower. I'll sing by myself, for myself, or to the trees. I don't care. But I want to be able to be in, be like in community.
Yeah.
I like singing with you, or singing with, Audrey, or going with Butterfly, or, doing things like that, because then I feel more supported, and I feel like you can relate. There's nobody judging me. Nobody's gonna say, "Oh, you gotta leave because of your kid," or some of the stuff that when I was still touring or whatever, and I'm breastfeeding, like nobody's really waiting for you to do that. You know what I mean? And I missed out on a lot of things because of that, because of choices that I wanted to make. But I was like, no, I'm doing this. This is my baby. I'm gonna be here. And then now, since both of my boys are in, kind of in the entertainment and arts and stuff, now I can bring them.
Yeah.
And it's like they're supposed to be there, as opposed to they're there because they're my kids. They're there because they're headlining, and I'm like just hanging out or something. You know what I mean? So like, I had the bracelet because of the boys, not because anything I was doing. I got to like be incognito. So that was like really cool. Nobody knew me. Nobody expected me to do anything. Like, I could just be myself and be relaxed. You can't always do that when you're on all the time. So I like appreciate being able to just chill sometimes.
Yeah. Cool. Tell me what activism looks like for you these days.
Oh my goodness. So I just finished couple of songs about what's going on over in Israel and Gaza and all of the things, and Mike Crenshaw and some other people that have been active in the community for an extended period of time. I've known him almost 30 years. And so in the early part of my like professional career, not like some, doing it sometimes, or not in the theater, or as a part of something that was going on with school or work, I sang with a group called Hungry Mob. And Hungry Mob's whole premise was just like, comes from the song, "Them belly full, but me hungry. A hungry mob is an angry mob." So just that, knowing like my music, using my voice as a way to, speak truth to power, being able to use my voice to be able to get into spaces and maybe have an influence or be thought-provoking. I think that's another reason why I wanted to work with children, because I was like, well, the babies don't get a chance to say things. When I was in Seattle, there was a lot of young girls. They were Muslim girls, and they came from like Somalia and all these other places. And at home, they're not even able to speak up. And so when we were like encouraging them to say whatever they wanted to say, they were very reluctant because they didn't have that opportunity. That no one ever asked them what their opinion was, let alone like you get to say it in front of everybody. So that's what moved me. That's there's a program called Youth Speak Seattle that teaches poetry and stuff to kids, and that was like, I want to be a part of that. There's another program that at the University of Washington that I worked with, and just different stuff. I've been invited to a lot of places. I worked at Columbia University during the summer and did a program where we incorporated hip hop elements, which hip hop itself is activism in a lot of ways if you're doing it right, or the right type of music. Some of it is a very special sauce that I'm like, okay, yeah, that's That's not what I'm trying to
just the difference between like hip hop in the way it was created versus the commercialized version.
Yeah, and that's controversy within itself. I think there's a lot of intentional efforts being made by the industry to perpetuate a stereotype or to sell records. And I believe it was Charlemagne had on the Breakfast Club, he had one of the top executives come. I don't want to get his name wrong. Ivine or Levine or something like that. But he had this guy, one of the top executives, come, and he asked him straight up, like, dude, are you like intentionally trying to like make Black people look bad and like perpetuate stereotypes and like make everybody think that sex and drugs and all these other things are like the coolest thing going on? Are you doing that on purpose and not giving other voices an opportunity? And why would you do that? And he said he had sons at home and they needed to eat.
Yeah.
So, from the horse's mouth, it's like, oh,
yeah.
So there is an agenda.
Yes, we're doing that, and yes, we know.
Yes,
we're doing it.
yeah, we're very aware. And if you want to participate at a different level, then you're not going to be invited into this playing field. You could take your ball and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or you can eat on a lower level, which myself, when I moved to New York, I was writing for a company behind the scenes, wrote some songs for some artists, but they just lie so much. Like, they even told me to lie. Like, even in modeling, because I did plus size modeling for a while, they were like, when I was in my 30s, they were telling me to tell people I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
So there's like ageism and all these other isms kind of going on too.
Yeah.
So when you are a person that wants to speak truth,
Yeah.
you're kind of like out of the cool kids club.
That
You know what I
happened to
mean?
me too.
Yeah. So, and it happens in theater and stuff
Yeah.
because also too, because you could play a range. I could be from
Yeah,
this
sure.
age all the way to this age.
Right.
But then if someone asked me, it wasn't acceptable to say my actual age. I had to give my, whatever age, or even my name, my stage name, or my, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of people walking around that can't kind of do the separation, where they're like, I am Toni Hill, and they're just stuck on that, and everyone engages them like that too. So you don't have an opportunity to like be yourself. So I was like, in my music, I'm going to be myself.
Yeah.
Whether
And
I'm
that
a
comes
superstar
across
or not.
just so much. I mean, like that's what my dad responded to, right? Like that's what you see when you watch videos, when you watch Toni on screen, when you see, like, listen to her tracks. Like, it's just that naturalness that you bring, and I think it's that integrity and that inability to not tell the truth, right? Like I think, yeah, that's lovely.
Get you in trouble sometimes
I know.
for just saying stuff.
Yeah.
But you gotta say stuff.
The song you heard comes from the lyric about how we live on and what we leave behind. What is your legacy? What do you feel proud to leave behind?
I'm glad that things got recorded. I'm glad for technology, because there are times in my life where the best show or the best version of something never got documented. No one took a picture. No one, got to see it. And so I think that now when I figure out how to kind of use the technology to my benefit, I can benefit from it a little more. But I think some of the performances that I've had, or even like this podcast, having something that's going to stay when you want to go back and look at it or learn about it or whatever. But I also do think that it's important to still have the regular way, still be able to record songs and leave that. I would like to do more literature again, maybe leave a poetry book, something tangible that my kids can look at my words and think about something I might have said or taught.
So maybe what you're most proud to leave behind is something you haven't made yet.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I like that possibility. Yeah, and I think that just having something to look forward to is legacy, because culturally, I come from the Blackfoot Indian tribe in Browning, Montana. I'm a descendant of Chief Lone Walker and Sinapa. My grandmother was Pitapiyaki, which is the traveling or the faraway woman. I come also from a white fur trapper who came to live with the Blackfeet, and he was the first white person to ever encounter our tribe. He married the chief's daughter, and we named him Maquilhuasin, which is the rising wolf. And so in Montana, there's 3 big mountains. One is Lone Walker's Mountain, one is Sinapaki, which is the daughter, which means kit fox, and one is Maquilhuasin. So when I go home, I take my kids there, I'm able to see. So it's like those type of things. Like there's already a legacy that was there before me, but culturally, to answer your question, 7 years, you're supposed to think and be intentional about 7 generations forward. So anything that I'm doing now is try to set my kids up, to set their kids up, to set, so that just making sure that I'm intentional, even if it's just a thought that I pour it into them. Is legacy.
Sure. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. Does anyone else have more questions, or we can song?
We can sing a song. You
Do
got
you
questions?
want a poetry first or song first?
We can sing a song.
Okay.
From the beat again.
How's everybody? Do you need to stand up? No, you good?
I'm just gonna move this one.
Please, thank
One
you.
thing out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, and then maybe tip this.
Oh,
Yeah, yes, I would rather stand. I haven't mastered singing in the chair yet. I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. I started standing up a little with my keyboard recently, and it's so much more helpful for singing. I really like it.
Phoebe,
I'm gonna have to get out.
So the other reason that I wanted to invite Toni today is because we've been working on a bunch of cover songs to hopefully just have like a little wine bar thing or whatever. So if you ever want entertainment, or someone who's having a little party and they want a little background music, that's kind of something else we're working on. So this is one of the songs that we did that we've been working on.
Stars shining above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you'll miss me. Why I'm alone, as blue as can be. Dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on, dear. Still craving your kiss. I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear. Just saying this. Sweet dreams the sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on, dear. Still craving your kiss. I'm longing to linger till dawn, dear. Still saying this. Sweet dreams the sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me. little dream of me. Dream a little dream of me.
You want to do a poem and I'll audience?
Okay.
Is that cool?
That's gonna be fun. I get to look at beautiful people.
Yeah. Ooh, let me see. Let me think. Oh my goodness. I gotta feel the mood. Like, am I in a happy? What am Hold on, this. Watch your back for this cup, though. Whoever gave me this cup, I love. This is like my new best friend. I love this cup. So this is really cool. Let me whip my whistle real quick. Alright, I think I'll do one of my signature pieces. These are like one of those like tried and true, no matter where you go, they want you to do that song. I'm gonna do that song. This is called Wade in the Water. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God is gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God is gonna trouble the water. Prophets used to pray. Now we pray for prophets. We spoke of peace. He pulled out his piece and made everyone get down on their knees. People would rather have lies in their hearts than empty pockets. And it's a crime how mankind uses prophecy for profit. Now change ain't nothing new. Because if you knew, you'd change. Unless you want the world to treat your little ones the same. We're all up and coming, but a lesson that hurts when it's learned later on is a good friend is better than pocket money. So if your love ain't shining, you're only slowly dying, and some can't even stand to look their own selves in the eyes, and that's the greed that certain people live by. I said that's the greed that certain people live by. As the children wade, as the children wade, as the children wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God is gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God is gonna trouble the water. Well, I've been from the meanest streets to the highest peaks where people speak all kind of languages. Sometimes I kick that Spanglish shit. I saddled up with young duns down in Dangerous. I did the math with young guns about this craziness out here. We trying to eat. We trying to live. They're only trying to keep us down, but the world goes round. I keep my nose in the books. I keep my heart in the hood. I spread the love where I should, because ain't nothing gonna hold me back from shining. Not even when I'm 2.2 seconds from wilding. I pop I pop collars with big scholars and black bourgeoisie. I hit laps with my cutty. I keep my burner down in the seat. Pass the hot sauce from my collard and greens. I sang at 16 funerals and 5 unsolved mysteries. And all the while I was grinding for that paycheck thing. All the while I was grinding for that paycheck thing as the children weighed, as the children weighed, as the children weighed in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God is gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God is gonna trouble the water. Wow.
When I asked Lael if I could do the podcast here, she said yes. I think maybe without hearing Toni. And then we just did Galentine's a couple weeks ago, and she said, well, I'm pretty sure. I said, is there anything you want us to do? And she said, well, after hearing Toni, I'm pretty sure she could be the song. She could sing the songbook.
That's right. That's right.
Sing the phone book. Sorry, that was the other thing I said. But I agree, and I'm so honored that you agreed to do this with me. Thank you so much. It's my great pleasure to bring you acts that I can't really follow.
That's not true.
It is, but I'm okay with it. Like it's like I want to share all of the talented people that I know, and we're all on the same team. Like I love that, and I'm so grateful to everyone. But yeah, so I'm gonna sing you an a cappella that is what I like to call my superhero origin story. Oh, and I don't have my shoes on, but I think I can still stomp. That's probably fine, yeah? Okay. For those of you who don't know, I think I did this the last podcast too, so hopefully I'm not repeating myself too much, but that's what editing is for. I grew up in a rural town in Pennsylvania that's literally 600 people. I think it's less now than when I was growing up. But this song was inspired by a conversation I had with my grandfather when I think we might have been talking about my brother and some trouble that he had gotten into. And he said, well, Jana, we do come from a long line of barn burners and horse thieves. And I said, I'm sorry, what? And so it turns out that that's what my family at the turn of the century did for a job, was burn people's barns so that they could claim insurance money and still milk their cows. So this was obvious fodder for songwriting material, and here you go. At the top of the hill is my house. My great-grandfather dragged it there after the first one burned down, 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 down to the ground. And it's a small town, but it used to be smaller. My grandfather grew up after the burning. Fourth-generation farmer, turning the soil into hay, turning the hay into feed, to feed the cows that were milked incessantly day after day. And before we were farmers, we were fire charmers, burning right to the chalk line, burning right to the corn stalks this time, burning right to the chalk line so we could still milk the cows. We were butter churners, barn burners, rug weavers and horse thieves, knock it down, all those lives, all that history. Butter churners, barn burners, rug weavers and horse thieves. Knock it down, all those lives, all that history. And we all grew up there, my great-grandfather and my grandpa Roe. And my father's favorite grandma, he told me so. Then my mom and dad and me, our young family. And then my brother when I was 3. Then we were 4. We were butter churners, barn burners, rug weavers and horse thieves. Knock it down, all those lives, all that history. Butter churners, barn burners, rug weavers and horse thieves. Knock it down, all those lives, all that history. So this is another song from that same song cycle. So I kind of set out to make good on some of those old farmer sayings that my grandpa used to kind of come up with. And so spin you a yarn is a thing. Oh yeah, thank you. Spin you a yarn is a thing that we say when, we're going to tell you a story, but it could be bullshit or it could be true. But I just like that as a theme for things. So I don't know if this song really hits that as a subject matter, but here it is. Thank you this is Audrey Boone, for those of you who don't know.
Woo, okay.
She's totally amazing, and we've been doing lots of music stuff. And now we have a new baby together called Soul of the Home Candles.
It occurred to me that this is where we re-met.
I was thinking about that too. Isn't that interesting? Yeah.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, here we go. Am I okay volume-wise, Will? I'm good. Do you need more or anything? Okay.
Good.
If I spin you a yarn, would you knit me a sweater, keep me warm, and wrap me in words to help me feel better, 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 better now? Better, 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 better now. If I spin you a yarn, would it be a tall tale about a tall gal with a sailboat and a plan to feel better, 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 better now? Better, 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 better now. If I spin you a yarn, would you know what I mean? I mean, I would tell you some of all I have seen. Hey, if I spin you a yarn, would it be a love song this time? A story of ours, all written in rhyme? And would it sound like a fishtail, of big as a creek whale? Would it tell of our loving, living, loving, living, loving now? Loving, living, loving, living, loving now. If I spin you a yarn, would you know what I mean? I mean, I would tell you some of all I have seen. If I spin you a yarn, would you knit me a sweater, keep me warm, and wrap me in words to help me feel better, 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 better now? Better, 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 better now. To help me feel better, 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 better now. Better, 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 better now. crunching out and do stuff. How are we doing on time? What's my time check?
5:15.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
We got two different times, honey. Hold on.
5:15.
5:15. Okay. I think I'm gonna play Silk, and then we'll go to Track Landville, just to give you a heads up. This is a song that I originally wrote as a part of a short film, also by the name of Silk. It's a teaching film that my friend Marissa, who runs Healing Tree Collective, which is a for healing from different kinds of abuse. And so the film, what they did was they created a really awesome film, super good quality, and they take it to schools, usually I think this is a college level thing. And they just kind of open up discussions about different kinds of relationships and communication and abusive situations and how to notice them and get out of them and all the things. And so I was really happy to write this song, and then they didn't use it. So I took it back. Although the piano track is in the film at the ending of the credits. But I'm also, it's getting a new little rebirth again because Resonate Women's Choir is doing it, and I get to perform with them starting in March. So if you're on my email list, I'll probably tell you when those shows are up and coming. I think the main one is like the second weekend in March or something like that. But it is so beautiful with the choir. You have to hear it. Anyway, this is Silk. What if love was soft but strong like silk? Everything you need like mother's milk. And what if my quiet power grows louder by the hour, leaving me still soft but strong like silk. Waiting on a safer place now, counting on a warmer sun, a steady make and hold my space now, knowing I've already won. 'Cause what if quiet is louder? What if softness is strength? You see it all as a weakness, and that is your first mistake. 'Cause what if winning is leaving? What if healing is learning to be? Letting go is just breathing, and I see it's all up to me. So what if love was soft but strong like silk? Everything you need like mother's milk. And what if that quiet power grows closer by the hour, leaving me still soft and strong like silk. I wanna be soft and strong like silk, just soft and strong like silk. There's a hair stuck to my. No, I don't think so. I think it was mine. But it was so tickly. So tickly. Okay. Oh, what's first on my list? Messy Little Happiness?
Yep.
Okay, good. So I'm gonna do this thing that reminds me of my friend Gigi because she's so lovely and unassuming, but all of her poetry is about sex. And I love that so much because you would just not, it's not like she's not an awesomely beautiful, sexy person. It's more like she's kind of like soft-spoken and quiet, and then she gets on the mic and it's like, oh my God. It's like my favorite thing. And so we've been going along all like serious, and then here's a sex song for you. messy happiness, but it works for me. 'Cause I left my pants up on the countertop. You left your shirt in the living room. And I left my heart up in the coffee shop where we met this afternoon. I chew up my words and I chew up my man. And I roll the skeletons in the closet I pretend. Well, there are unwritten rules that I live to defend. Everything that I've done. That was a messy little moment, the one where you saw me bare my heart too soon. 'Cause I could fall in love with you on this sexy afternoon, but I don't want you to know. 'Cause I left my panties on the countertop. You left your shirt in the living room. And I left my heart up in the coffee shop where we met this afternoon. I chew up my words and I chew up my man. And I roll the skeletons in the closet I pretend. There are unwritten rules and I live to defend. Everything that I've done. It's a messy little happiness, but look what it's done for me. There was a messy little mood swing. It's a little bit hard to shake this impending doom thing. I always think the worst then get the best. It's a messy, messy happiness, but it works for me. I chew up my words and I chew up my man. I crawl the skeletons in the closet I pretend. Well, there are unwritten rules and I live to defend. Everything that I've done. I think my favorite thing that ever happened with that song was that my friend Jenny, when her daughter's grown now in school for music therapy, which is so amazing. But when Creston was 3, Jenny said, "Cress, what do you think that song is about?" She said, "Laundry." She's like, "I mean, the pants are on the countertop." She was like, yeah, okay, yeah, laundry is the right answer. This is called Goodbye Penelope. Yes,
Do you record that? Like all of that drum track and all of that too?
Yeah,
Is that you?
that one, what is that one? That one is on my first record.
Yeah.
And I think that I can't even remember, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's okay.
I think that all I did was take everything else out of it because that's the only thing I wanted to play with. It has organ and a couple other things on the real track. But what I do when I produce a full track, this is actually good. I'm so glad you asked that question because this is what I'm doing now, is playing with tracks that I made.
Yeah.
So Goodbye Penelope was on my second album, that's called Blocks. And I make what I call my karaoke version of songs so that I can play them live with tracks, which sounds full. Which I like the trajectory of that as a house concert because I like to play acoustically and then also give you something that feels the tiniest bit like a rock concert at the end.
Yeah.
And so now we're doing that for 4 or 5 songs. But this one has, I recorded that album with a full band.
Okay.
So some of these tracks are not me, but when we get to 45, that's all me.
Yeah.
And Enchanted is all me and Chris Allen, and that's it. So, yeah, so Goodbye Penelope is one of my favorite songs, and I kind of like it, especially because it has like an industrial moment in the end, which I love. So you're just here for that. Also, Will, I want to give you a heads up because all of these tracks, I think we haven't played this full set, and they're all different levels all over the place. So just balance it according to how you like it. Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready. I think this one's a quiet one, but I can't remember. Put a shell to your ear to hear and see. What do you hear when you listen to me? I know my way is the only way. But the trouble is everybody else thinks the same. And love is not detail free. And life is not a tragedy. Love is not detail free. And life is not a tragedy. She won't wear a coat, so I am leaving. I'll see you in a year or so. I wonder how she'll grow while I'm gone. We'll make another family, we 3 across the sea. Goodbye, Penelope. Goodbye. Love is not detail free. Life is not a tragedy. Love is not detail free. And life is not a tragedy. Oh, love, 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 love is not detail free. And my life is not a tragedy. Goodbye, Penelope. I hope, faith, your name seems to say it all. And each time you fall, it's all up to you in the end. And it's amazing how a heart can stop, if only for a minute. How life can flash before your eyes. Well, now I realize love is not detail free. Life is not a tragedy. Love is not detail free. And life is not a tragedy, a tragedy. My love is not detail free. Hey, my life is not a tragedy, a tragedy, a tragedy, a tragedy. Oh, goodbye, Penelope. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, humility. Goodbye, humility. Where are we now? 45? Yeah. This is a request from Lale. And this is this one is really all me. And the thing that I'm proudest of is the clock part in the middle of the song. Because I had such a blast recording that, because what we did was dump a whole bin of shakers and toys and just a bunch of crap. And I just listened in the headphones until I heard the right sound that I wanted. And then I did 3 tracks to make the clock sound like a clock. And I just love it so much. So this came from a conversation I had with my dear friend Angie when we were talking about how we felt like our lives were kind of just a mess at the time, right? And I said, why is that? It seems like all of us together. And she said, well, it's because when we were growing up, they just told us we were going to die all the time. And I was like, yeah, you're right. She's like, why would we have expected the future to actually happen? And I thought, yeah. And so this song kind of came out of that conversation. And I wrote it when I was 45, and I'm no longer 45, but it still applies. Hit it, Will. I'm unabashedly 45. I am surprised to still be alive. 'Cause we were all latchkey kids, running wild, doing what we did. Then they started the war on drugs, but that was really a war on us. And then we were supposed to die at the end of 1999. And so we slept through Y2K. We partied hard and woke up the next day. Then the same in 2012. It was the end, but we rose above. And lots of us have to fight cancer. We can go on, we are the adapters. We have the connection. We are the last connection. And we've got time we never knew that we had. Well, they say time flies when you're having fun. Does it crash down when the fun is done? We run from the illusion. Or have we just run out of time? I am fantastically horrified at what it takes to just stay alive. We work so much more for less, and the planet is such a mess. And then they started this war on terror, which is designed to go on forever, forever and ever. It will go on forever, and we just might be out of time this time. They say time flies when you're having fun. Does it crash down when the fun is done? We run from the illusion. Or have we just run out of time? They say time flies when you're having fun. Does it crash down when the fun is done? We run from the illusion. Or have we just run out of time? My favorite thing that ever happened playing that song was I played it for an interview show that I was on, and he congratulated me on rhyming run with illusion. And I thought it was like the best. I was like, thank you. Actually, that was really like hard thing to do. So I'm so glad you noticed. Oh my goodness, so funny. What am I in for now? Move me?
Enchanted.
Let's see, do you want to hear Move Me? Kate does. Okay. So let's do Move Me first, can we? Or no, I like ending with that Beatles. Let's do that. Let's do Enchanted. That sounds good. These two songs, 45 and Enchanted, are on a little drop card that I have. So if you love them and you want to own them and buy them, I will gladly send you home with that. I do have stuff over there for sale. If you're online, I didn't set up the Venmo again for people to tip, which is so stupid, but that's okay. Next time.
My Venmo's here too, so if people want to leave
Okay.
it.
Cool. I'll maybe hold up the thing at the end of the end of the broadcast. Yeah, because it's just right there. Okay, let's do Enchanted, and let me get my. This is sort of there's a new section in this song that I don't want to mess up. So I'm just gonna have a little crutch just in case I need it. I'm just gonna set it over here so that I can, if my memory needs jogging, it's like all lit up over there. I can even see it from here. I don't know why, but hooray.
It's fun.
Hooray for that. Okay, I'm ready. I'm addicted to this forest. I cannot show my face in the light, but I will soon be howling at the moon. Can you see me? The forest through the trees. Can you hear me say, ah, ooh. Yeah. Maybe I'm the beauty and the beast. Maybe you are part of the feast. Spit you up, spit you out. You are without a doubt the poison apple. You're the witch's spell. Unfriendly water from the wishing well. You are the ruby slippers. You're the killer song. Enchanted, wrong. Once upon a time I was married to a rapper. Felt like a happy ever after. Minds were met and songs were made. And then the baby came. It was a beautiful rhythm of creation. And then the darkness crept in. We had a beautiful rhythm of creation. And then the darkness. See, I was ill prepared for what happened next. Cause I did my best. Thought I was half of a partnership. Thought I was able, but the script was flipped. So much push and pull, like I was swimming in the storm waves. I didn't know what to do, so I just gave and gave and gave and gave and gave and gave. You're the poison apple. You're the witch's spell. Unfriendly water from the wishing well. You are the ruby slippers. You're the killer song. Enchanted, wrong. Well, can you see me? The forest through the trees. Can you hear me when I'm talking? It never happened to me before, but now I see. This life is like that story. It's just like that story. You know, the one where the tree gives shade, then her fruit, then her leaves. She loved that boy down to her roots, so he just took and took and took and took and took. But life is a story we write every day. Found my way back to myself cause I prayed. See me standing in my power power might. This is what happy ever after looks like. This is what happy ever after looks like. This is what happy ever after looks like. I'm addicted to this forest. Cannot show my face in the light. I would sooner be howling at the moon. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh. I want you to be there at the end of it all. I would sooner be howling at the moon. You're the poison apple, you're the witch's spell, unfriendly water from the wishing well. You are the ruby slippers, you're the killer song, enchanted song. Okay, so do you remember how to do this? Are you good?
No, it can't.
Again, it's your big moment, Will. Kind of like the rest of the show, only different. So this is a song that I've kind of brought back to life recently. I performed it at Valentine's Day with Audrey and my friend Jess, who's a dancer. So I'm gonna have to just talk you through the dance part because I can't do any of the things that Jess did. And but you'll hear it. There's like a minute of kind of just dancing, but it's a cool kind of ramping up that happens in the song. So I was really grateful to get asked to do this. Jess Zoller is my friend who's the dancer, and she asked me to make a song for her for 10 Tiny Dances. And I think this is one of my favorite collaborations I've done, especially with dancers. So the song turned out really well. It's being mixed right now so that I can release it as an actual track. So I haven't released it yet. It's only been performed live a handful of times. And I'm hoping that we get to do it again soon. So I'm gonna get my starting note and then I'll sing you. When the world no longer moves me, I move the furniture around. I box up the things that don't serve me. I bring change, rearrange, make space, and a place for everything. I box up my clothes and my art. Boxes surround me. I pack up my dreams and my heart, but numbness has found me. Can you move me? It takes a lot to move me lately. They look, but they don't see. They hear, but they're not listening. They touch, but they don't feel. I try to pack up my stuff and move through. I'm moving through. Can you move me? lot to move me lately. Can you move me? Drop the boxes, I'm just moving through. Okay, so now there were 6 dancers, and there was a platform, and they were moving the platform all around, and it was just incredible. It was like they all had moving outfits on. It was very cute. They're all super athletic dancers. They like spun people around and like lifted the platform up. The platform was really heavy. Like I don't even know. I was just standing there in awe the whole time, and it just gets faster and faster because I made the music do that. It's Jess asked me to do that, and she just choreographed to it. And I was like, what if we just ramp it up and end it like a Beatles song? And she was like, okay, so here we go. Can you actually do it? I don't know. Try it. Okay, well, we'll just keep going until we can't go. And then she made this sequence that was kind of like this. And then they just did that until they sort of like passed out at the end. It was really cool. So I'll let you listen to it for a second because here we go. And then there's this other thing that comes in. Where is it? Where is it? It's coming. Here it comes. Nope. Here. It takes a lot to move me lately. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for subscribing to the podcast once it's out and edited and all together. The one that we did here today will release in May. So that's happening. And I forgot to bring my email list. So I'm going to make a makeshift one. If you're not already on my email list, please do sign up and I'll let you know where I am and what I'm doing and what other amazing artists I have for you to witness. And I'm thinking, should we end with our little song? Sure. Let's do it. I think a lot of people in this crowd know this song, and I said to Audrey, like, let's end with our little group sing like we always do, if the vibe feels right. And I thought maybe it did.
There's some singers in this room.
There's some singers in this room.
Singers in this room.
We shall be going. Wanna come? Come join. Yeah, we can sort of just stand away from the mic and that'll be fine.
I'm loud, so I'm gonna be
We're all loud.
We're dynamic.
We're dynamic.
I like
Do you
that
want to
word.
start it like you usually do?
Sure. Yeah.
I'll do it like this for a second.
Yeah,
and I'll-
Okay.
Wait, glasses on, glasses off. What are we doing?
Well, I was crying earlier, so.
Yeah,
We don't need a ski
No,
anymore.
we don't need to see.
we can feel you in the room. This is a song by the duo Mamuse. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these flowers. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now. alive. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning, we shall learn to lead in love.
Thank you, friends. Thank you ever so much for coming out and supporting live art and being part of our community. We're also grateful and appreciative. And let's hang out.
Yay!
Episode 2. Thanks everybody online. Bye.
You did it. Oh my gosh. Oh yes. Nice to see you. Trying to like smile and the tears are coming in. It just keeps happening. You know what I'm like? That's how I feel when it's like your father. I feel like I'm in a trance up here in this bridge. Yeah, and then you're like, oh, this song 45 or something. Yeah, that's